Anyone here for the first time? Yeah, many of you. Thank you very much for coming to Hare Krishna Valley. Happy New Year. Our aim here at Hare Krishna Valley is to show an example of how to live, how to have true peace, true happiness, true harmony. You could see what we're doing in the kirtan, that was called a kirtan. You could see there was like a unity amongst humanity. We could solve all the world's problems right now just by bringing everyone together to chant and dance like that. Donald Trump and what's the other leaders called? Who's in charge of Russia? Putin. Bring them together, give Donald the drum, give Putin the kartals and say, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Everybody, 2019. No more conflict in the world. Conflict is artificial. Conflict is due to the bodily identification, because we identify with the body. We think we are the body, and we identify with the mind, then we don't understand who we actually are. And when you don't understand who you actually are, that you're spirit, that you're the soul, your actual identity, then you see in terms of the body, because of identification with the ego, and then there are clashes which exist. But this doesn't have to be there with that. So our message to the world in 2019 is the same message that we had in 2018. Chant and be happy. And if it doesn't work, we'll give you your money back. So, welcome to Hare Krishna Valley. Does anyone have any questions that you'd like to ask in terms of questions in regards to life, the universe and everything? If there's anything you'd like to... We have a kids' room just here at the back. Yeah. And you can hear the lecture. We have a speaker in there so you can hear everything. And if you have any questions, just shout through the window and we can do it like that. But does anyone have any questions they would like to ask a member of the Hare Krishna movement? We can try to answer your questions if there's anything you'd like to know. Some people, they come here, they'd like to know a little bit more about our lifestyle or about our philosophy or about what we do or why we do it or anything at all, or anything about anything. We can try to answer, give some philosophical light on things. Okay, everyone's attained enlightenment, so it's good. Yeah, I saw. Yes, madam.
I wake up with quite a lot of pain in the mornings, like usually the right side of my neck or like the back of my neck and my shoulders are quite cramped. So I have to do like some stretches and stuff to loosen me up, but it usually takes like quite a bit of time to feel like come back into my body, because I've been living up here my whole life, so trying to let go of this up here and come back in here. But yeah, I don't know how to do that.
What's the question?
How do you let go of pain? Like, what can you do to let go of pain, like physical pain?
Physical pain?
Body.
What do you do about it?
Yeah.
The first thing I do is I look at the emotional reason behind it. There's very good books by Louise Hay. Have you heard of Louise Hay? Yeah, she's like the guru. Like that. So if I wake up in the morning, I've got a pain in my body, then I go and get Louise Hay's book, and I open it up and I see, oh, neck means this, and this, knee means this, and usually if I meditate on the emotional connection or meaning, the blockage, and I meditate on that and try to work through it, then usually the obscurity goes away, it begins to disappear. That's what I do. In terms of being too much up in the mind, that's the problem with people these days. People are spending too much time up here. And if you spend too much time up there by yourself, and one of the main diseases in society at this point in time is isolation. People spending too much time by themselves, which wasn't there like say 200 years ago in the world. Everyone lived in villages. So you grew up with your family and your neighbours and everyone, there's a lot of social interaction. When humanity, because we're social entities by nature, when we become too isolated, then you're just left to associate with this person in here. And for most of us, that can be problematic. And then you start becoming a little... Even Tony Robbins, he's like the world's biggest life coach, you might have heard of him. He says, anyone, they spend too much time up here, they'll become crazy. So it's what takes place. So try to work out a way that you can spend more time. What I do and what we do in our movement is we try to reach out to others. We try to strengthen ourselves. So just like in the ocean, if you go to the beach and you go for a swim at Lawn Beach, for example, there's the lifesavers and then there's the swimmers. So we try to become lifesavers. We train, right? We train ourselves spiritually and emotionally and everything. Try to get our lives, I suppose you'd say, together, so that when we see people are struggling, they're drowning or they're having some trouble, we can swim out, we can grab them and say, hey. Yeah? So you have to become strong yourself, and then you have to concentrate on outreach. And if you concentrate on outreach, then you're looking after other people, and then you have so much time. I don't really have to, like, if you look at this week, so we had a catering job at the Nightjar Market in Torquay. It's a big festival they hold in Torquay. So we were all down there, we catered, so that, took half the week to buy the supplies and then cook it and then take it down and serve it and then come back and clean it up. And that was Thursday night. We got back about 12 o'clock, woke up in the morning, then we had a retreat this weekend here. We have spiritual retreats. So the people came, so we spent the day getting ready for the retreat. People came, we ran the retreat all weekend, and the retreat finished about an hour ago. So I went and laid down in the office on the floor for about 2 minutes, kind of refreshed myself, and then got up. But then, I don't know how many people are here, 100 people or something. And the people, so it's outreach. I haven't got time to think about my problems. Actually, I haven't got that many problems, because I don't create problems in my life. I'm more concerned about the problems that other people have and how to help them. So if we concentrate on becoming a lifesaver, like strengthen ourselves spiritually, and then we can give to others, then you get rid of your problems. The problem is everyone these days just into themselves. I've got this problem. We've all got problems. So whether you're going to sit there and meditate on those problems all day, or whether you're going to go out and do something about helping other people. So they're basically the two choices we have. So that's our advice. Our advice is become a lifesaver. Get your bronze medallion.
I'm in the process.
Yeah, we're in the process. Yeah. So that's good. So that's what I mean. I mean, to me, that's the answer. Otherwise, if you go about chronic pain, that problem, all the problems, if you give too much time to those problems, if you feed those problems, they'll become bigger. Like that. Like the American Indians, the ancient Indians from America, they have a saying that there are two wolves inside of each of us. You have to choose which wolf you're going to feed. So you're going to feed the wolf that has all the problems, you'll just get bigger and stronger. If you're going to feed the wolf that becomes strong to help other people, that will become stronger. So you have to make a choice in your life. I haven't got time to get into my problems. I've got problems, but I don't let them absorb me because I've got too much to do. What if all you guys turned up today and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, I can't cope with it today. Oh, I can't speak. Is that going to help people? So don't give yourself time to be like that. Become a lifesaver and get your bronze medallion. And then help people. That's good. Nice question. Thank you for your question. Yes, sir.
What's the Hare Krishna view on suffering?
On suffering?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question also. According to the Bhagavad Gita, have you heard of the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
Yeah, that's our main book of knowledge. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it describes there are two worlds. There is the Paraprakriti, there is the Aparaprakriti. So the Paraprakriti means the spiritual world, the kingdom of God, heaven, however you like to describe it. Everyone has a different name for it. We call it Vaikuntha, the place without anxiety. So originally we were all in that world. We lived there with Krishna. In our belief system, in our tradition, we believe that God is a blue cowherd boy. If you look at all the pictures around the room, there's a blue boy who's dancing and having picnics and playing with cows. We understand, that's how we visualize and understand God. We see him like that. And we see ourselves in our pure form as being one of his friends in that picture, being an assistant and an accomplice of him. So in that world there is no suffering by definition. It's called Vaikuntha, which means a place without anxiety. But then he gave us free will. Free will means we have choice. And we chose not to stay there in that realm of giving, but rather to come here and be a little selfish. And when we came to this place, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, it is called Dukkadayam Ashashvatam, which means it's a place which is temporary and full of misery. So why are we suffering? We're suffering because we're in a place that we do not belong. It's a material world, it's made of matter. And we are spirit, which is encased in matter. And as long as spirit is encased in matter, we'll have to endure suffering. So why do we suffer? Because we're in the wrong place. Just like if you take a fish out of the ocean, put him on a banana lounge, give him some Coca-Cola and some French fries and some Ray-Bans and a nice umbrella and a ghetto blaster with Coldplay playing their music, the fish will not be happy. He'll just say, oh, that. He just wants to go back in the water because that's his environment. So in the same way, we're like fish, we belong in the spiritual world, but we're in the material world, so we must suffer. That's part of being in the material world. So why do we suffer? Because we're in the wrong place. We're in the place of suffering. If you want to stop suffering, then we have to go back to the other place, back to the spiritual world. And when we're chanting Hare Krishna before, we're all chanting and dancing. That's, we describe that as being God's telephone number. If you want to, get connected, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And Krishna's like, hello, I'm here. You want to come back? Yes, I'd like to come back now. No? You had enough suffering? Yeah, I've had enough suffering now. Okay, please come. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, then back to the spiritual world. So when you want to go back, we can go back. We have to change our consciousness from selfishness to selflessness, and then we can transport back to the spiritual world. Another point is, it says in the ancient teachings from India, it says all the suffering that we go through in this world is swapna, it's a dream. So in one sense, we're not actually suffering. The only reason that we feel like we're suffering is because we identify with this body and this mind and the ego, and as long as you identify with the body, the mind and the ego, then you will suffer. But it's actually a dream, it's not actually the soul suffering, it's just a misidentification with all of this, and then we suffer. So.
The question is, I thought that suffering is a way of learning. Could you enlarge that view a little bit? Because that's sort of one of my things, one of my creeds actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Please put your phone on aeroplane mode if you have any phones. Just put it on silent. Okay. Yeah, suffering is a way of learning. It is a way of learning, but what are we meant to learn? We're meant to learn that we are spirit. We're not the body, the mind, and the ego that we identify with, and to free ourselves from that bondage so we can go to the place where there is no suffering. That's what we're meant to learn. That's the lesson.
Thank you.
But there's people have different kinds of intelligence in this world. There's first-class intelligence, second-class intelligence, and third-class intelligence. Third-class intelligence means you suffer, but then you keep going back and doing the same thing again that causes your suffering. Can anyone relate to that tonight? In the audience tonight? One or two people? Yeah. We've all done that, right? We keep doing the same thing that makes us suffer. So where do we get? That's third-class intelligence. Second-class intelligence is someone says to us, if you do that, you will suffer. And we say, I understand that, but then we go and do it anyway, and then we realize it's suffering and we stop doing it. First-class intelligence, as you hear, that is suffering. Just by hearing that, you become detached from it, you avoid it, and then you don't make those mistakes. So we have to choose. Most of us, we learn the hard way, unfortunately.
You make it seem like anything that happens to us is because we good or bad. Isn't it sort of sickness, for instance, cancer and so on? Where do you put that?
Yeah, all the suffering that we experience in this world is karma. Karma means what we have done previously. So if we get cancer in this life, that means in our previous life we've done negative things, negative karmas, and then that's the reaction that we get in this life. So yeah, everything is due to us actually. Just like in the ancient teachings of India, there's a conversation between a great sage and a young person, and he says, "Why am I suffering?" And he says, "Actually, all the suffering is coming from you. All our suffering is only because of us. Because I did things in my previous life, negative karmas, and then it all comes back in this life. And then when it comes back, then we complain. Oh, why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? Because we did negative things. Even in this life, we did negative things. So how do you think you won't get suffering? So if we learn to act properly, if we follow the ancient teachings and we learn to act properly, then you negate your karma and then you can live peacefully in this world. Very good question. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you very much.
You're okay?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Nice, David. Any other question? So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Rich.
I was in Geelong a long time ago in the city, and the guy was selling books, and the one that I bought off him was The Journey of Self-Discovery.
Mm.
Yeah, and he explained in the front cover, you open it up, is the, and he explained how the soul goes through different physical beings. Yeah, like you were just sort of saying, and that appealed to me, so I gave him his donation and took the book and actually read about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, and got a lot out of it. And he was speaking about sort of material possessions and, by having the latest car or the biggest flat screen TV, it's not going to bring happiness, and he was talking about material possessions. But then I put the book down when it started then talking about the importance of money, or I don't know if it was giving back. And it's sort of, I thought, look, is this just another thing like Christianity where they have the, they have the expensive churches and this sort of thing, and I actually sort of thought it was contradicting what the book had been saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's where I put the book down and sort of had my doubt. So,
You'd like me to comment on it?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. What year did you get the book?
Geez, what about 15 years ago?
15. So was it now? About 2003, something like that?
Sounds about right.
About right, okay. I was just thinking whether it was me that you met.
Uh-huh.
But I would have been in Geelong about 96, 97. Yeah, I changed my focus at that time, so I wasn't doing that so much then, but yeah. So it was a bit after that, you met someone else, okay. Yeah, so the basic understanding is detachment and renunciation. That's what the first part of the book was obviously saying to you. We have to become less worldly. As Jesus, everyone's heard of Jesus today? Yeah, Jesus, like that. He's quite famous. He started Christianity. What we have now is probably what we call churchianity. Yeah, it's not necessarily what he started. Like that. They still call it in his name, but I don't know if it's exactly what he was teaching. So he said, be in the world but not of the world. That's a famous saying that I think most of us have heard that he spoke. So we should live in this world, but we should not become materialistic, as the book was explaining, as you've explained to us. Because obviously there's no happiness there. If you put all of your, we don't eat eggs, but if you put all your eggs in the one basket, you're thinking material happiness will give you complete happiness, then obviously that's foolish and you won't experience that happiness. Just like I had a friend, and it was about 5 years ago, and he works in a factory in Melbourne, and he rang me and he said, I'm working really hard, I'm saving up for a, like you said, a big flat screen TV. Big, I don't know how big, but big one. So he worked hard and hard and hard, and then he rang me about 3 months later, and he's speaking to me and he goes, I got the TV. And I said, oh, I don't have a TV, so, I live in a little eco house over there, which is off the grid, solar power, so we don't run a television when I want a television. So I said, oh, how's it? He said, I got the TV. I said, how's the TV? And he goes, well, there's nothing on television. There's nothing to watch. I spent $3,000, got the TV, put it in the lounge room and everything, turned it on, but there's not much on to watch. So that's the material world. We keep chasing after things which don't actually give us pleasure. It's like a mirage in a desert or something like that. So probably what you read is that further on, instead of absorbing your consciousness in material things, spiritualize your consciousness. Most people here, like I'm a a monk, a spiritual guy, a priest. That's kind of what I am. That's my vocation. So all I do is spiritual stuff. I live here. I run spiritual retreats. I go to the Melbourne Temple. I teach philosophy. Like, that's what I do. So I'm not so much in this world, so to speak. But most of you have jobs, I think, and vocations and that kind of thing. So you can't dedicate yourself like to spirituality probably as much as I can due to time restraints of having to do your work and so forth. Therefore, it's encouraged. It's not the only way to serve, but it's encouraged that if you're going to work a week and make whatever you make, give a portion of that to a place like this, which, you know, we just had a retreat on the weekend, and some of our guests said to us, there needs to be places like this where people can come and they can spiritualize themselves and they can purify themselves and they can come back in touch with reality, with Krishna, with God, as necessary. So if you can't dedicate all your time because of circumstances to this, then to give part of your wage to that, that's a noble thing. I would think it's a good thing. So maybe keep reading and then, you know, see where the book goes. Like that. It's not a negative thing, but it's voluntary. Like in our movement, we don't have like, you know, when you become a member, it's not like there's a set amount that you should give, but we do encourage everyone who does become a member to give. Because this, you know, how am I going to feed everyone today? It costs a lot of money. You know, we ask everyone at the end, you know, please put a donation in the donation box, because, you know, we want to feed all of you, but we need a little bit of help. You know, we cooked, we're going to serve, we're going to wash it all up. At least please give a donation to help out, you know, or come down and help us cook, or, you know, contribute. That's the point. So yeah, it's not a negative thing. It's just a way of, it's actually for your benefit, that's all. But as you said, there's places now, like I suppose you call religious institutions, that we're losing faith in because we're seeing the money's not going to very good places. You know, I've been a member of this movement, the Hare Krishna movement, for 30 years, and I have confidence that if you give the money, it will be used in the right place. You know, we protect cows here. It's one of the only places in Australia and Victoria where cows are born and they die without fear of being slaughtered. To me, that's a pretty good thing. If the whole world was doing that, the world would be a lot more peaceful. So I think to contribute to that, we have a cow sponsorship program. You can sponsor a cow. We have 18 cows and bulls. You can choose your one. You get a little picture to put on next to your bed, and then you can sponsor your cow. So you go to work all week, and then you can think when you come home, well, you know, part of my donation went to keep this cow, which is free from slaughter, which is living a natural life, and which is teaching the rest of the world this is how humanity should live without slaughtering animals. That's a good thing. It's a noble thing.
What's your views on dairy products?
I'll get to it in a minute, but I'll finish here first.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Thanks for answering that, yeah.
Yeah, so
Makes absolute sense. And yeah, as you say, donations here, I can see where,
yeah, we're transparent.
yeah.
I know, like, you know, I'm inside. I'm actually in the in this part of in Victoria. I'm in the management committee, so I see all the funds. You know, last year we made about $2.5 million. Like I see where it all goes, and it's not being misused. So I can guarantee that. You know, I wouldn't ask you to give something if I wasn't confident it was going in the right place. And it's up to you if you want to give or not. That's your choice. But if you do want to give, I can tell you where it's going to go, and we'll go to that. Of course. So thank you for your question. Nice to meet you, Richard. Thanks for coming down. Keep reading that book.
I think I will, yeah.
Yeah, keep going. And then come back next time. There'll be more questions. That's good. That you're asking the questions. That's good. I'll just take this gentleman's question. Did you have a question, sir, about dairy or
Just your views on dairy products.
our views on it?
Yeah.
Like, do we think they're good or like?
Not exactly. Cows and beef, dairy products, meat consumption. Do you eat dairy?
Yeah, they're two different questions. One's meat consumption, one's dairy consumption. So you
No,
have to.
no, it's the same question.
No, it's not the same question. I can explain to you why it's a two different thing, but you tell me what you want to know, I'll answer the question. But they're two different things. Eating meat and having dairy, they're two different things. So
Okay.
you ask me the question, I'll answer the
Okay,
question.
so you don't eat meat, right?
Us?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't eat meat, we're vegetarians.
Vegetarians, but
That's
you're not vegans, are you?
We're not vegans, no, we're lacto
Okay, so you
vegetarian.
do eat dairy. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, no, I'm not hiding it or anything. I'm not like, oh,
Yeah, okay, so you have...
We take dairy. The reason we've got this ahimsa dairy here is we're showing the world that cows can be protected.
Yep, I gotcha.
And cows, I'll just explain, not just for you, I'll explain for everyone.
I understand, man.
Yeah.
You don't kill the animals.
That's right.
But you still milk them for dairy.
Yeah, we do.
For yogurt, for
Milk.
cream,
Yep.
ice cream,
Ghee.
stuff. Yeah, ghee.
Honey.
Yeah. I didn't know ghee was made from dairy.
Yeah, it's milk.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's clarified butter.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do take. What we're teaching is that the cows we have here, probably about 1/10 of the milk that they produce, they'll give to their calves. When a cow produces milk, it produces more. And in terms of the creation and what we learn from Krishna, who we understand as God, the remainder of the milk is meant to nourish humanity. When we're born, we only take, for the first 3 months of our life, or sometimes more, we live on one substance, one food, which is milk. And it's the most nourishing of all foods. And in the ancient tradition from India, the cow is one of the 7 mothers. So biologically, when our mother stops giving us milk, the rest of our life, in the ancient tradition, we take that milk from the cow. The cow is not exploited. That's the problem with the modern world. They exploit the cows. And after they stop giving milk, what do they do with them? Okay? Here, we don't do that. Right? We
appreciate that.
Yeah, we milk the cows.
Yep.
They live here safely. And if they're not giving milk, we don't take it. We don't keep the cows for the milk, but if they have excess milk, yes, we take it. And they give it with love. Because they feel like they are our mothers. And they feel like they want to nurture us, and they like to give their milk. So it's not exploitation. It's just, it's the natural, the way things were created in this world. So that's our answer. Nice question, thank you.
Cool.
That's good. Madam?
Mine's not relevant really anymore. It was to the last question. I was just going to say about possessions
Yeah.
and how I've had the, sort of a life-changing event where I got rid of all my possessions and I felt the best and happiest I ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing to hold on to. I don't have to worry about that weight on my shoulders or anything.
Yeah.
And I loved my things. I loved my clothes, my shoes, all my hippie cushions, everything, and I just got rid of it. I actually burned them. So, yeah, it felt really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we recommend everyone go home today and
No,
burn
don't.
all your possessions.
That part.
Be happy. Be happy. Just put it in a big fire. Well, wait till winter, like when the fire season finishes, and then just burn them all. Or we can have a mass one, bring all your stuff down here, we'll do like a big bonfire. We don't recommend that. You have to burn everything, or you need to. But I do appreciate your point.
Yeah.
I was a monk for 8 years when I was young, and everything I owned was in one, like, small wardrobe, like just a single wardrobe. It was about that big, you know, just one. That's all I owned in the world. Just some clothes, my chanting beads, some books, and I was happy.
Yeah.
And even now I'm happy because I don't have a lot of stuff, but you know, I appreciate your point. It's a good point. Any other questions? Somewhere, madam.
You mentioned about the 7 mothers, and one is a biological, one is mother cow,
Cow, yeah.
and third, I'm assuming, was Gaia,
Earth,
Mother
yeah.
Earth.
Yeah.
What are the other 4?
The other 4 are the wet nurse, the wet nurse. In older cultures, older tradition, sometimes it would be the nurse or the mother, and then sometimes there would be another person in the village who, if she was lactating, she would also feed the baby if the mother was unable to for some reason. So a wet nurse, she's also considered a mother. We don't have them so much these days. Like now we just get some powder, mix it in water, and then give it to the kid, but it was different back then. So there was wet nurse, the mother, the cow, the earth, the wife of the Brahmana, which means a holy man. His wife is considered the mother. The wife of the king. So in this country, what's our Prime Minister's name? Scott Morrison, yeah. So his wife is considered our mother. Next time we see her, say, Haribol Mataji. So, yeah, Pranam Mataji. She'll say, okay, that's nice. So the wife of the king, the wife of the Brahmana, and the wife of the Guru. The Guru's wife is also considered the mother. So it means any woman should be seen as a mother It actually says in a successful society, according to the ancient teachings, there are 5 innocents, 5 innocent members of society who should never be harmed, and they should always be protected under all circumstances. So the first one is children, should always be protected. You see the world these days, kids aren't being looked after. Second is women, should always be protected. Look at these days, women are not being protected as they should. Third is elderly people, not being looked after the way they should. Fourth is holy people, not being looked after like that. They make it hard for us. We're the holy people. We're trying to spread the spiritual teachings. They make it difficult for us. You know, they say, oh, no, you can't. In some countries, they say, no, you can't do it. They make us illegal in the country. It's like very strange. So the children, the women, elderly people. Did I say anyone else? Holy people. That's 4. And I've had a really long weekend and my brain's not working, and there's one more.
Would it be gurus or animals?
That's the holy people. Oh yeah, very good, thank you. The cow. The cow. Yeah, the cow. So those 5 should never be harmed under any circumstance. So we're seeing, you know, children not being looked at around the world, big problem with child, slave, women, same thing, big problem. The cows, big problem. Holy people and elderly people. So if we actually respect, a successful society must look after those people. So here at Hare Krishna Valley, we look after these people. So your children are safe, all the women are safe, the cows are safe, the elderly people are safe, and what was the other one? The holy people, yeah. Yeah, we're safe as well. So everyone's safe here. No one will harm you, as long as you're here. We will protect you. Like that. So we're trying to teach the whole world to be like this. Like a place where you feel peaceful and happy and safe like that. And if it doesn't work, we'll give your money back. I'll just take, and then you second. Oh, that's it. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Can a woman be a priest?
Just speak me like
Can a woman be a priest?
Can we? Yeah, my wife, she's a priest. So yeah, equal. What she's doing now, she offered the ceremony before on the altar, and then now she's offering the food to Krishna, like the sacred offering. Like she's doing that, so we can both do that. I can do that, she can do that.
So there's same roles for men and women?
Yeah, yeah. In our movement, is there anything that the girls come to? They're going to pass the guru thing in a few months, so is there anything?
Well, in India, we can't go on the altar. But that's
been
more a
good.
cultural thing rather than our traditional thing.
Okay. But besides that, yeah, everything's the same. In India, the women don't go on the altar and do these kind of duties because it's like a cultural thing. It's been going for thousands of years, and they segregate the men and women kind of in terms of their roles. So the women will do a lot of the cooking for the altar, but then the men will go on the altar and do the offering. So it's kind of like traditional roles. Yeah, maybe in India those things will, because you know the world's becoming modern now, like that. But here in the West, like Atuya can do everything I can do everything Atuya. Yeah, I'm her equal. Yeah, so.
Things are changing even in India. There was a temple where they didn't allow women from about 10 till 50 to enter in because they saw them as being a bit unclean. And but their laws have just passed that women can enter that temple now for the first time. So things are changing even in India.
Yeah. So, nice question. Okay. I'll take here first and then.
How does a person, even in the process of giving, how do they deal with overload? What is a way for someone like yourself who's just explained the kind of amount of stuff you've worked on?
Yep.
How do you manage to keep going and not feel overloaded and unable to continue? What are some of the ways you access?
Yeah, good question. So it's in our tradition it's called sadhana. Sadhana means like a daily practice. So you have to make time on a regular basis to relax, to rest, and also to have privacy. so that solitude, so that you can absorb yourself and replenish yourself. So we go to India once a year for about a month, and we just fully absorb ourselves in a spirit, and we don't have any responsibilities there in terms of management and that kind of thing. You know, just absorb ourselves in our spirituality. And on a daily basis, we rise early in the morning, and we have a sadhana, which means a regular practice, and that nourishes us and makes us feel, you know, we have time for ourselves where we can do our meditation, our chanting, study some spiritual literatures, and then by the time, you know, the day comes, we've kind of got the energy to deal with it. And then on a weekly basis, we'll just take a day off. You know, myself and the two, we'll just go for a bushwalk, you know, go to one of the waterfalls around here, or take our bikes, go for a ride or something, just relax. So you just have to replenish constantly. And the last 4 or 5 days, we haven't had a lot of time for that because it's been quite busy. So like I said, I had 2 minutes on the office floor. That was awesome. And when you guys leave, I'll be back on the office floor and just, you know, I'll lay there for about 6 weeks. And
So how long is your spiritual practice on a daily basis, given the normal run of things?
yeah, we're highly dedicated monks. So I'm just trying to give you like a context of what we do. We meditate for 2 hours a day. We chant that mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, in a meditation on beats like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare. We chant that in a meditation for around about 2 hours a day. That's our choice. That's the discipline that we have voluntarily taken up in our lives. We don't expect everyone to do that, but we would recommend that, you know, everyone try something, do some meditative practice or some sort of sadhana, some daily practice in their lives. We're just discussing that on the weekend in our retreat. You know, even if you can do like 10 minutes in the morning, you know, it'll have a powerful impact on the rest of your day, like that. The particular mantra which we chant, the Hare Krishna mantra, it's made up of names of Krishna, names of God, so it has spiritual energy. I don't know if you felt it before when we were all chanting. Did anyone feel there's like some spiritual energy there? Hands up if you felt anything spiritual. Yeah, a lot of people felt some. They felt some spiritual energy. Sometimes people ask the Hare Krishnas, they say, why are you guys happy? You know, because we do the chanting, it makes us blissful, we connect with Krishna, with God. We feel spiritualized and purified. Like that, and then we go out on the streets around the world and we dance and we chant. I've chanted under the Eiffel Tower. I've been all around the world chanting in different streets. It's very blissful, like that. So we recommend everyone do some meditation or some chanting or something. Nice question. Thank you. Stesh. Yeah.
Hi, I just have a comment. It's my birthday, so I'm going to throw out a comment.
Happy birthday to Teshika. Please give her a birthday. Please bless her to live a long life.
I'll take all blessings. Everybody may have seen the Never-Ending Story, and in the Never-Ending Story there's a boy reading the book and he gets into the story and nothing's coming over, which is like material nature, you know, and eating everything and consuming everything, and in the end there's an empress, and to save this world, he's following this whole story, he really wants to save the world. All he has to do is call out her name, and he can't believe it will be so easy. It's like, but how? And when he calls out her name, everything's being saved. And I think that's what we feel in Kirtan. Well, it is what we feel when we call out the names of God, and then you feel it, and it is real when you're particularly surrounded in congregation, because you've got various levels of faith. So when you're trying it on your own, it's like him reading the book in the story, you know, he's getting into it and he's trying to understand, but he can't fathom it, but by the end he just calls Krishna! And then you feel it. That's my birthday, thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Someone else put,
How do you become a priest? What do you do to become a priest or a priestess?
in our tradition?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah.
We take that commitment to do the 2 hours of meditation a day. They're chanting 2 hours a day, which is quite a big commitment. Like that. So we take that. And then we take an initiation ceremony in front of our guru, and we take certain vows. So one of the vows is we'll do that 2 hours of meditation a day. Another one of the vows is that we'll never eat meat, fish or eggs in our life. which we've done for the last 30 years. Yeah, that's intoxication. That's the second vow. The second vow, we don't take any intoxicating substance. So we don't take any alcohol or cigarettes or anything that's intoxicating. We don't even drink tea or coffee because they're also addictive. So that's one of the vows that we take voluntarily. And then we don't have illicit sex. So sex is only in marriage. And for those who are priests, it's only to procreate children, which is a high level of commitment. We don't expect everyone will come up to that level quickly or easily, but as a priest, that's the vows that we take. And then the fourth vow is we say we'll never gamble. So I've never been to a TAB for 30 years. It's really hard, but I fight with it every day, but not really.
So you don't eat eggs, but you do eat cheese?
Yeah, we take dairy. Eggs, technically the egg is the womb of the chicken.
Okay.
So it's a transformation of flesh. It will become a chicken, so it's from the body of the chicken. The milk is a different substance. It's not it's like the sun and sunshine. So the cow and milk, it's not, and it doesn't harm the animal to take the milk. If you take it the way we take it, obviously not the way that commercially they take it. Yeah, so we don't eat eggs like that. But the Hare Krishna food's so nice. I've never thought in the last 30 years, oh my God, I need scrambled eggs. I'm like, it's okay.
What about plant healing medicine? Like, for example, ayahuasca, or some people use marijuana as like a medicine.
That's under intoxication.
Okay.
So we don't take those things because they're intoxicating, like that. Medicinally, it could be considered. It could be considered medicinally. That'd be a personal choice. But in terms of recreational use, we wouldn't use it. I haven't taken anything for 30 years. And I never woken up once and thought, I need to get stoned or need to get drunk or like that. Because if we do any of those things, it's because there's something missing in here. If you need an external stimulant to satisfy you, that means there's something missing in the soul.
Unless, of course, you were taking it to find something that you were unable to access in your meditations.
Yeah, there's a better way to do it, which is not to take it. We can teach you how to access it quickly. You don't have to worry about taking something artificial to access it. If you're taking something artificial, then you're not reaching the soul. You're still in the mind, still up here. It's just what the mind's experiencing, it's not what the soul's experiencing. Yeah. It's a fact. I'm just giving factual spirituality because there's a lot of mixed Sado spirituality out there, so I'm just giving you factual. Whether people accept it or don't, or choose it or don't choose, that's their choice, but at least I'm going to give you the reality of the situation. If we take anything which is external to ourselves, that means we're incomplete here. When we actually unite with Krishna, like we do in our chanting, like we unite with God and Krishna, you feel complete, you don't need any of those things. I just never ever think of those things.
I actually, from my experience, I didn't actually feel complete. It was because of ayahuasca that allowed me to open up and see my true self. If it wasn't for that, I still would have been kind of stuck really far behind.
Yeah, so what we would say is that the experience you've had so far, it's still dealing with the mind. And to go further to the actual soul, the actual spiritual experience, the ancient teachers can show us how to do that, free from those things. It's taking you in a direction, you feel like an improvement, I'm not denying that. But what we're saying, according to the ancient teachings, there's more to go. There's more to experience. We would say that, that's all. Yeah, we just say that. So, we can show you how to do that without substances. We don't take any substances whatsoever except for turmeric to get us to where we need to go. It's not the turmeric that does it, but turmeric just purifies the blood. That's all it does, but anti-radical like that. But we don't need something to alter our consciousness. If you have to alter your consciousness, the point is you have to fix yourself in consciousness first. Not alter consciousness, but fix yourself in consciousness. Which means you have to understand your actual spiritual relationship with the Supreme. If you understand that, then there's nothing needed to alter your consciousness to take you further. Yeah, that's our answer. Some people will agree, some people disagree, that's their choice, but that's our answer. Someone had their hand up back there? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, well, first, I'd like to say I volunteered at Govinda's in Brisbane.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fantastic experience.
Okay.
You see all the guests coming in and eating the food and having their smiley face. And also, I'm wondering what the view of the Hare Krishna community is with homosexuality, as if a man's attracted to a man or a woman, is they attracted to another woman? Can they go on the same path that you're going with your wife? Or what is the Hare Krishna view on that?
Well, we had that question last night in our retreat. Someone, did you ask that question last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Like that. So yeah, it's a common question. It's a very topical question because of what's going on in society.
Sorry, it's Kylie.
What's that? Oh, Kylie, did you ask it? Oh yeah, you asked it, that's right. Yeah, last night, sorry. I gave the credit to the wrong person. Please forgive me, Kylie. So, yeah, same question. In terms of your spirituality, we have to understand we're not heterosexual and we're not homosexual. That's the first point to understand. Right? To be heterosexual or to be homosexual is bodily identification. We're not the body. That's the first teaching in the Bhagavad Gita. You're not the body, you're the soul. The soul's not gay or straight. Okay? So we have to get off that whole thing. There's too much emphasis at this point in time in modern society on bodily superficiality. And homosexuality and heterosexuality, yeah, because I'm straight and someone else may be gay, and I don't have any... I grew up with a lot of gay friends. My family, from the age I was 5 years old, I remember gay friends being around. I don't have any problem with gay people whatsoever, but to think that you're gay and I'm straight, I'm not gay, but to think that I'm straight, whatever that is not who I actually am. So that's the first point we have to understand, okay? Now, to get back to this world, because we're in this world, we are in bodies. We may be in a gay body or a straight body at this point in time. We don't have a problem with it. I've got many gay friends who are Hare Krishnas, openly gay, and I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. In the Hare Krishna movement, I'll be honest with you, in the Hare Krishna movement, gay marriage is not yet accepted and practiced in the movement. The reason that is, as I was explaining last night, is because it's an international movement and different countries and different cultures have very different views on homosexuality. And there's some cultures and countries, some Hare Krishnas in some parts of the world, because of their upbringing, they would really struggle if we had gay marriage in 2019 in the Hare Krishna movement. And it would create massive factions within our movement. So to avoid that, I think it's going to be a slow process, but I will predict, as a Hare Krishna and a member of this movement, I would say in a couple of decades, these things will be, gay marriage will be practiced within our movement. At the moment, I've got some gay friends in Melbourne who are a part of our temple, and they went off to the registry, and they have their marriage, and they're legally married. They did it in Amsterdam, because they're from Europe, so they went to Amsterdam. You can do it in Australia now, it's just been passed. So they got married and they're in the movement, but they didn't have what we call like a traditional Hare Krishna marriage at this point in time. I personally wouldn't have a problem with them doing that, but if I did that here, like me and Naturi, we got married just here.
Wow.
Just in that spot, yes.
That's amazing.
We got married just here. Well, it's on YouTube, you can see the video. So we got married just there.
Yeah.
Right, and we had our straight marriage right there in the spot. If my friends came and had a gay marriage right here, I would have no problem with that, a gay Hare Krishna marriage. But if I did that, there would be big ramifications from our international body. So to avoid, sometimes we just have to be patient with things. I think it'll just be a little bit of time, and then, the whole world can get married any way they want. Some people don't want to get married. It's a complicated world these days. You got people that, no one should get married. No, everyone should get married. Everyone should be gay marriage, and it's like everyone just gets caught up on it. Like, to be honest, I find the whole thing quite superficial because it's not who we actually are, like that. But that being said, we should not deny someone's rights in this world. So I would support that. But yeah, I'm just being honest with you. So you don't hear me say like I'm all pro-gay, and then later on you find out they don't allow it. So I'm just being totally transparent with you, so you understand. I think that's a nice question. Anything else you'd like to?
Just beautiful here being with everyone, and
Yeah.
it's such a nice spirit and really nice atmosphere here.
Yeah, it's a nice atmosphere. Thank you for coming to this place. Madam? Yes?
What sort of marriage was it who married you? I'm interested in the sort of form that your marriage took.
Yeah, okay. It's hard to describe. It's on YouTube, and I think it's had 30,000 views or something. So it's there's many Hare Krishna marriages on YouTube. You can look up.
Was it like a traditional marriage ceremony?
It's a Hindu wedding.
It's a Hindu wedding.
If you look at all the pictures at the back, they're super colourful. That kind of gives you an idea of what it's like. Yeah, I come in like all dressed up, Bollywood like. Not really. I don't really do that.
Yeah, I have been to Hindu marriage.
Yeah, so it's like that. Yeah, Tuya was very colourful, and I was dressed in my robes, and there was a big mandap, which means like a what other words say? What's that? Yeah, canopy. It's like a beautiful canopy with flowers. It's just colourful. Yeah, everything in Hare Krishna room is colourful. We're not normal.
And the vows are taken in front of fire.
Yeah.
So we see the fire as a representation of God, and we exchange our vows in front of a fire and give offerings to the fire. It's also purification. So there are some practices we do that are purifying for us, to give us more blessings to have a successful marriage. There's also purification ceremonies for our families as well, so it incorporates the families. We tie the knot, we have our hands bound with flowers, and we have our cloth tied together, so there's some little... Yeah, very symbolic, but in India they can go for days, where here we condense them down to 3 hours instead of 3 days, so and then of course, with any Hare Krishna event, we finish with a great big feast, so, and lots of chanting.
So have a look. If you look on YouTube, just look at Hare Krishna weddings. There's lots of them. But you get an idea of what we do. It's just basically it's colourful.
It's very nice.
And on the other hand, what's the view if couples don't get married and they choose just to live together?
If you're a priest, like we explained before, like I'm a priest, I've taken vows, then you have to be married. You can't just live de facto. Like it's a little bit traditional. I mean, it's coming from a 5,000-year-old tradition and culture. If you're just a member, like, you just, like all of you, like many of you are Hare Krishnas, you just come here like that, so you can do whatever you want.
Sure.
I mean, we encourage, I'll be careful what I say, because this is being recorded. My seniors around the world might, jump on me. We encourage people to marry. We encourage people to marry. We encourage people to be... Yeah, I'll take all that back, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
We encourage people to be committed to one person. That's what we encourage. We don't encourage promiscuity like that. I have to be careful. My view is if you marry or not, that's your choice. The Hare Krishna view, the traditional view, would be you should get married. So I'll represent both, personal view and the liberal and the conservative. I'll represent. But I will get in trouble if I go too liberal, so I have to do it.
You've been talking about soul. Why could we understand soul because we're in the body? How can we understand soul? We're talking about soul.
Yeah. How do we understand soul?
Yes.
Soul is who we are. Like all of you came in a car today to the farm. So you drove the car. The car is the vehicle. And you drove the car and then you got out of the car. So in the same way, the body is a vehicle and our soul is what drives the vehicle. And when the soul steps out of the body, that's what we call death. It's just a lump of matter. So that's what the soul is. The soul is consciousness. So that's what we are. We're the soul. We're the consciousness. We're in the body at the moment. We're driving the body. The soul is made of 3 elements: eternality, knowledge, and bliss. So that's what the soul is. That's what the spirit is constituted of. The soul lives forever. It cannot die. Like the body can die, but the soul cannot die. We are full of knowledge, which means awareness, and in our pure state we are full of bliss or unlimited happiness. So that is what the soul is. Someone else said there? Oh, man, sorry. Yeah, of course.
As far as health goes, medically,
Yeah.
to go to hospitals, to go to a GP, would you just use turmeric or?
Yeah.
And the other one was
My kind of girl.
reincarnation. What do you use for reincarnation?
Yeah, 2 good questions. Okay, so I'll go for the turmeric first. Our view on hospitals and allopathic medicine and all the rest, only use them when necessary. Hospitals are not clean places. 250,000 Americans die every year in America because of hospital mishaps. I don't have a lot of confidence walking through the front doors. I'm being honest. So it's not my first choice. You know, my wife was not well a couple of weeks ago. She had the appendix? Yeah, her appendix became like inflamed, so we had to go to the hospital. That's like our final kind of resort. So in the beginning we always go for, as you say, the turmeric and living a healthy life, and we do it as much as possible. I take antibiotics rarely, once every 15 years or something like that, only if it's really heavy and serious. What's that?
Definitely no vaccinations.
Money's in the kitchen. Yeah, Veda Sarah, she's wandering around. She's never been vaccinated, one of our kids. Like that. So once again, that's personal choice. There's no law in the Hare Krishna movement. You have to vaccinate or not vaccinate. That's a personal choice. But Veda Sarah's not vaccinated. She's alive.
Our movement has our own hospitals as well in India.
Yeah.
Some places around the world we have our own hospitals. There are Hare Krishnas that are doctors and specialists as well. So, and we have a health science that comes from our scriptures called Ayurveda, and that's a health science that we would turn to first.
Yeah. Yeah, we're into preventative medicine, like that. You know, if you live properly, most of it's just diet and lifestyle. You know, if you're living a good diet and good lifestyle, should live long. You shouldn't have too many ailments. We don't have a lot of ailments because we live a pretty good lifestyle and whatnot. So that's how you avoid it. If you do get really sick, I'll only go and get a tablet. What's a tablet? God knows what they put in those things. Really seriously, what they put. And when you do find out what they put in those things, it's frightening. So that's my last resort if I'm really like that. So go turmeric. And then the second question was reincarnation.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Just become back as animals, insects, or into something else and reborn, or?
Yeah, that's all personal choice.
Okay.
Yeah, as you live in this life, that's what you become. Like that. So you're developing your consciousness. So the way you live, that will, like the body I've got now is because the way I lived in my previous life. That's why I look like this, and that's why, because that's the way I lived and the consciousness I developed, and then I took birth like this. And my next life will be, hopefully we'll go back to Krishna and live happily ever after in the spiritual world and like that. That's my actual goal. But if I do take birth, it'll be according to the consciousness that I'm developing now. Like that. So, if we take a very vivid example, someone like Hitler or something like that, he's not a human being right now. He hasn't taken rebirth as a human. He's gone down into deep animal species or further, plants or insects or something like that, and he's reaping the results of what he did. And I remember, years ago, I was driving down the road and I overtook a truck full of pigs, and the pigs were obviously going to the slaughterhouse, so I didn't feel very good. As Hare Krishnas, we don't like seeing animals get hurt. So I drove past, and as I went past, I looked up at the driver, and he looked down at me, and I swear to Krishna, God, whoever, I swear that he looked like a pig. I could see that was what he was becoming next life. Because it was yeah, I could see his consciousness was moulding like that because he wasn't doing the right thing. You know, he was in part of a very violent activity. So reincarnation, yeah, it's a part of life. It's just something that happens in life. You know, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is born will die, one who is dying will take birth again. That's just part of it. That's just how it all works in the universe. But where we go, that's up to us. We recommend the other destination. Okay. Someone put their hand up?
I was just going to ask,
Yeah.
because he's a driver and that's his job, how come he would be reincarnated? But you answered it.
Yeah, because he's choosing to drive for that company. I wouldn't be driving for that company.
No, it would be your choice to drive.
Yeah. Someone else? Yeah, so.
So in Hare Krishna movement, Krishna has given principles to live, how to live. How about the people who doesn't get a chance to know about Krishna or his principles? Like when he dies, can he reach the upper planetary system? Like in saying that he does everything good, he looked after his friends, family, animals, so he did everything good, but he died, and that life he didn't get a chance to know about Krishna or his principles. So what happens to him?
Yeah, what happens? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that he directs the wanderings of all the living entities. So nothing happens by chance. So if you have a desire to know about Krishna, about God, about the universe, however you describe it, if you have a desire to become self-realized, then the supreme power in the universe will arrange for you to go to where you need to go to learn those things. So if that's your desire, then you'll go to that place and then you'll get that opportunity. So that's what happened in my life. Like since I can remember, since I was a little boy, I remember just in my heart there was a desire to know the truth, to know about what's beyond this world, to get the answers of life. Why are we here? What's it about? Where are we going to? I had that desire. And then it came in due course in my life that I was led towards those things. So that will take place. Yeah, madam?
Does the Hare Krishna movement ever condone violence?
Meaning, can you give me an example?
I suppose the use of violence ever.
Ever?
To maintain peace.
Yeah, to maintain peace, it's permissible. We're very, we're pacifists, we're peaceful people, right? I don't think I've had a fight since I've been a Hare Krishna. I've never hit someone since I've been a Hare Krishna. The last time I hit someone I was in grade 6. And he hit me first, it wasn't around just clocking the kids. Yeah, it's like, one of my friends in the schoolyard, he went to hit me and then I blocked him and I hit him and then afterwards I thought, oh God, I just hit him. So we're pacifists, we don't like. That being said, if someone comes in now, drives up and parks and comes in and starts hurting any of you, we will rip them apart. We will defend you. So we're pacifists, but only to the level of practicality. In other words, if someone needs defense, we will defend them. If someone tries to harm one of our cows, then we will defend the cow. If someone tries to harm one of you, we'll defend you. If someone tries to harm me, that's self-defense. There's nothing wrong with that. Like that. We don't just sit in meditation while someone beats us, and that's not our philosophy. So we're practical. But that being said, like I said, we've never had any problems. I've never had to strike anyone. Or, if someone acts improperly, we'll just tell them, excuse me, you're acting improperly. You need to leave now. If they don't leave, then see where it goes. Last time I had to do that, I just called the police. Someone came here and they weren't acting properly. I said, you need to leave. They said, I'm not going to leave. That's cool. So I just rang the cops. The cops came down, picked them up, took them, and that was it. No problems. So, any other questions? Yeah.
Just on that question from the lady about the reincarnation.
Yeah.
My friend, like you, he goes to India at least once a year, and in Europe he gives meditation workshops. And so he said to me, look, he goes, if you eat meat, like there's the bone in the middle and there's the meat around it, and so you eat what you can see, but like he says, you also eat what you can't see, that spiritual part. And then he said, if you continuously eat meat in your life, you might not get reborn as a human. So do you believe in that as well? To me, that's a pretty big motivation. obviously, as a human, you have a high intelligence. It's a pretty big motivation to become vegetarian.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll motivate you.
Yeah.
Because, okay, it's like we just answered before we gave the answer, it's consciousness. So if your consciousness is all the time, like, oh, I need to eat steak, I need to eat this, I need to eat that, if that's really where your life is at, if that's what you think about all the time, I just need to eat meat, I need to eat meat, what do you think you're going to become in your next life? You'll be born out the back of Bengal and the jungle as a tiger. I'm being serious here. Or you'll be a carnivore. You'll be born, there's so many species. That's what you'll be. Or you'll land out in the Amazon as a piranha, and you'll just be like that. If that's all you're thinking about, that's what you'll become.
So if you eat vegetables, do you then, like, if you transfer that, can you become like a tree?
Krishna. No, it's not like that, because 30 years I've never heard it put like that. So. It's very entertaining. The vegetables don't have a nervous system. Okay, you kill a cow or a dog, they feel it. A vegetable doesn't have a nervous system. There's no nerves, right? When you take the carrot out of the ground, it feels pain, it suffers, but it's much less. So in the ancient teachings it says we're not allowed to eat the animals because it's unnecessary violence, right? That's why we don't eat the animals, because it's unnecessary violence. But when you take the vegetables, they also suffer, okay? So now we're in a conundrum. There's a problem there. So how do we solve the problem? We solve the problem, we just cook the food, we just cook the vegetables. We just brought it in, we offered it to God, to Krishna, and he says, if you offer the vegetables to me, I will take the karma, because there will be some small karma, not big karma like killing an animal, that's serious karma. The thought of me killing an animal, that frightens me, because I know what will come back to me. An eye for an eye, like I would not do that, that's why I don't kill the animals, eat the animals. So, but, when I take the vegetables, I offer the food to Krishna, and then he says, I'll take the karma, and then everyone's happy. Like that. So that's why we do the offerings. That's part of the spiritual purification. I enjoyed your question.
Oh, it's very interesting. And like his wife does a lot of Ayurveda and does workshops. She makes her own toothpaste and creams. Okay. And interestingly, all her kids are vegetarian, all her children. And her son thinks that if all people would be vegetarian, with all the corn and wheat that they grow for feeding the livestock, that there's really enough food to go around for everyone on the planet.
Yeah, that's obvious. The only reason there's poverty and that is because we kill animals, that's all. Because as you said, that if you eat the vegetables, it doesn't take as much energy and resource to make the vegetables as it does to fatten the animals, and then we could all live very easily. Like there's about 7 billion people on Earth at the moment. If all of us were vegetarian right now, we could feed 36 billion of us. So overpopulation is a myth. There's no such thing as overpopulation. 36 billion of us could, just with the resources we have right now. India, the amount of food that India produces can feed 7 billion people right now, if it was just all managed properly. It's mismanagement, that's all. So if we get into government, we'll fix things up. It might take a few centuries. I'll take one more question. Someone else, I saw a hand. Yep.
What's the importance of the number 108?
What's the importance of the number 108? It says
repeated a lot.
Yeah, it's repeated a lot, yeah. We chant on 108 beads. Yeah. The Buddhists also chant on 108 beads. Even some Christian traditions chant on 108 beads. It's said to be the most powerful of all numbers. It represents eternality, unlimitedness, like that. And it's said to be the most auspicious of all numbers. So there's 108 beads, 108 gopis, 108 Upanishads, all those things are there. So that's, as far as I know, said to be a very powerful number numerically. So that's why we have 108 beads and all those kind of things. Thank you very much. You've been very patient. Your questions have been very enlightening and entertaining. Very much enjoyed our exchange like that. Thank you all for coming. please come again. You're all welcome. If you'd like to give a donation, we'd appreciate that. Just leave a donation there. We're just going to go outside and we'll turn to the right, and just outside the kitchen we'll serve the meal. If any of you would like to help serve, just volunteer and you can help serve out. And then when you finish with your plates, just take them over to the sink, just wash them and just stack them there. We're just going to eat outside. It's a nice day. Is everyone okay eating outside? We'll just have a picnic. Everyone's okay with it? Yeah, so we'll just eat outside. After we finish the feast at about 3 o'clock, anyone who wants to, we'll go over and see our cows, the protected cows, and they're a Ahimsa dairy. We'll go over and you can feed them and pat them. You can see our organic garden and you can be happy. And if you want to stay here for the rest of your life, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, thanks, Simon. We also have a free magazine here if anyone wants to learn more about our philosophy and our lifestyle around the world. It's just here, just come and take one and you can. Thank you very much.